welcome back to my channel. I am currently on vacation. And the best part, truly and honestly, the best part about this trip is that it is completely 100% paid off before I even finished packing my bags and heading to the airport. Dear God, I hope I got there on time. I don't know if you guys can see, but I've got my suitcases back there. They are finally packed, ready to go. I don't know if I've ever been so prepared for a trip that I am fully packed the day before, and man, is it gonna be an early morning, but I am so excited to go. And again, this title is 100% not clickbait. I have cash flowed this entire vacation. The things that needed to be planned and paid for before are done. They are paid for in full, and things that need to be purchased once I am there, like Broadway tickets for matinees, the dinner cruise, the coffee adventure tour, all of those things have money set aside. So when I get there, I can pay for them and not worry about where I'm going to get the funds. If cash flowing a vacation or an expensive milestone sounds like an amazing thing in your life, sharing money tips and savings advice is a big part of this channel. So if you've not yet done so, be sure to click that subscribe button and the bell to be updated for each and every future video. And if you are new around here, I just want to take a second and say, I know everyone's financial situation is different. I know everybody is privileged in some ways and less so in other ways. This is not a comparison video in any means. It's just a way to get the mind thinking about different ways you can cash flow a vacation or something expensive so you don't have to worry and stress in the future when it comes time to pay off those debts. Speaking of which, let me know what things you are saving up for down below in the comments. Is it a vacation? Is it some debt? Is it just something big coming up in your life? Let me know down below in the comments. I will hopefully be there chatting with you guys. But anyway, what you guys came and clicked on this video for, 3 steps that allowed me to completely cash flow my vacation. Number 1 is to make a rough budget. Now I have my laptop here, so I'm just gonna read it off for you. For this vacation, I made a list and estimated costs for transportation, which included an Uber to the airport and round trip flights, 2 flights. Once I figured out how I was gonna get there and get back home, I had to take an estimate for my hotels, attractions, estimated food cost, transportation around New York City, and spending cash. I also watched a plethora of tourist videos for New York City, things to do in New York City, how to save and budget, and every video I watched said take your estimated cost and add an additional 10% just to be safe. You know, things come up, you don't know what's gonna happen in the city, something could be canceled, your plans could change, just have that extra 10% cushion. For me, I put that extra 10% of budget onto things I'm going to spend on my credit card, and I did call ahead to my bank and I let them know, hey, I'm not gonna be in my city anymore, I'm gonna be traveling from this date to this date, so they know to expect transactions that are not in Columbus, Ohio. And I know some of the bigger members in the budgeting community are gonna say, Kristen, you're planning on charging things on your credit card, but you're making a video about cash flowing your vacation. Yes, I have my spending cash that is prepared for the cash flow sitting in a checking account so that as soon as I am done, I've paid something and I'm back in my hotel for the night, I can get on my app and I can pay it off completely. It makes me feel a lot safer, especially in New York City, to have the credit cards that I can call and cancel if they get lost or stolen. If I lose a wallet filled with cash, you're not gonna get that back. So really, for me, peace of mind and continuing the idea of cash flowing things, I have a small amount of spending cash, but a majority of it will be on my credit card. Oh, welcome. You clearly heard we were filming. Once I put together my estimated budget, the next step was designing a savings plan and designating a place to save your funds. Like, you have an extra checking account, savings account. Does your bank let you open one without a minimum? Find a place to start putting your money. And more importantly, how much do you need to save and how much time do you have to save it? That's the bread and butter when it comes to cash flowing anything, is making sure you know how much money you need and how long you have to save it. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't think like that, you don't just have a large amount of money sitting in a bank that you can spend whenever you want if it's not designated for an emergency. To give you guys an example of mine, I put together my estimated rough budget at the beginning and I calculated it would be just over $2,200 to do the entire trip, and that is including the 10% increase just to be safe in New York City And I told myself I had just over 9 weeks to prepare for this trip. So $2,250 needed divided by 9 weeks. It was just over $250 a week that had to be put away in my savings fund. Now, I want to be completely transparent and let you know that I already had $500 sitting in my savings fund for a vacation, and the 9 weeks that I was saving did cover Christmas and my birthday. So I did receive some cash from family members, friends, and even some of you guys here on my YouTube channel. And you know, when I wrote you back, I told you that your money was going straight towards this fund. And again, thank you guys so much. It's finally being put to good use. It's been sitting in a fund for weeks. One of the big reasons I already had that $500 sitting in my account was so that I could go ahead and pay for things like the flights and booking the hotel. Things that should have been booked back in November when they were booked, because it was right around that Thanksgiving, New Year, Christmas time of year where travel and hotels are lowered because they want you to spend, they want you to come. So I took advantage of those sales and I booked my flights and my hotel, but I didn't book them until the end of March, or now. So booking way ahead in advance let me slash the prices of both hotel and flights. My brain stopped for a minute. Fun fact, round trip transportation on American Airlines from Columbus, Ohio to LaGuardia Airport, round trip for 2 people, so 2 seats, taxes, extra fees, all that fun stuff, came into just under $400 total. So about $200 a piece. If I wanted to book that right now, like if I were flying tomorrow and I said, oh, I just want to book it, it would cost me $1,350 right now to book tomorrow. So I'm getting on that same flight for a fraction of the cost. So if you're looking to cash flow, really get these things done early. That's why I liked having that little bit of extra money in my savings account. Since I'm already looking at this now, I'll let you know my rough budget that I put together for this trip. Some of these came in right on the nose, some were a little bit more, some were a little bit less, but I did have transportation on the flights there and back, $400. Uber, I have $50 from LaGuardia to New York, that's a flat fee, and $50 back. So $100 to get from the airport to the hotel and $50 from the hotel to the airport. Attractions, about $500. There's gonna be some Broadway shows, some tours, Statue of Liberty, Freedom Tower. Estimated food cost, I put in here between $100 and $150 a day. Transportation around the city is $110. I paid just about $55 with taxes and fees for a week pass on any double-decker bus with a certain company that I booked with. That way, no matter where I am in the city, I don't have to take the subway system. I can just scan a wristband and get on the bus and go wherever I needed. And then additional spending cash, 10% extra, all that fun stuff. Did come out $2,250. Gave myself 9 weeks to pay it off with a little bit of extra cash already in the funds. $250 a week starting back in November. And once again, I did charge some things on my credit card that had to be paid early, like the hotel and the flights, and they were paid off immediately. They're already done, got the Chase points, everything's good. Number 3, when it comes to cash flowing, and this is what I feel is really gonna either excite people or upset people. Number 3 is to get creative. Now is the time to look at your budget, your normal monthly budget. You have one of those, right? If you don't have one of those, click up here in my video for budgeting for beginners or search anyone in the budgeting community. They will help you get a budget so you know where your money's going week by week. You definitely need one of those. But now is the time to get creative in any regard to get the money you need weekly into your vacation fund. We're clearly not going to take from our mortgage, our car payments, our insurance to put into our vacation fund. We have to look other places, like that morning cup of coffee, make it at home. Lunches for the office, make them at home. Earlier this week, I put out a video of things I no longer buy. That is exactly what I did to pay off and cash flow this vacation. I know I just plugged another video. I'm gonna put that up above in the cards or down below in the description box, just because it shows you exactly what I stopped buying. And it was things like after school snacks, because I really wanted those, makeup, clothes. I mean, I'm going to New York, of course I wanted clothes. Less nights out, I didn't drink alcohol out of my house, I did make a lot of coffee at home, I packed my lunches. A lot of those things happened because a little here, a little there adds up, and I was able to get that $250 into my vacation fund week after week after week. Other things you could consider is overtime at the office. Is that an option to you? If it is, I highly recommend you take it. Or looking for a side hustle. I know I've mentioned it once or twice in other videos, but I am an online ESL teacher through VIP Kid, and the last 2 months, I want to say, I have been pulling in extra hours. And when I say extra hours, I mean getting up at 4:30 so I could teach 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. before school, do school, after school activities, teach lessons, and then jump back on the computer again between 7 and 10 o'clock p.m. and teach another 3 hours of classes. So there were times where on top of my full-time teaching schedule, where I teach music at a real school, I jumped on the computer for up to 5 hours a day, 2 before school, 3 at night, to bring in that extra revenue. And I know I'm saying this as someone who doesn't have kids or a big family that they have to give their attention to, but I've seen moms do it. If you're looking for that sort of inspiration, definitely YouTube search moms who do budgeting and do more things than I could ever imagine. The point of this all is get creative. Find ways to earn that extra income. Get a side hustle, sell things that you don't need in your house anymore, minimize your closets, minimize your entire house. There are a plethora of ways to make money at home, and like I said before, you can YouTube search side hustles you could do from home and see so much amazing content on how to save money. Actually, looking at this document, I wrote, in the last 4 weeks, I have booked 2 extra wedding singing gigs. I did sell 3 items on my local to Columbus Facebook page. I did edit 3 other people's YouTube videos for hourly fees on the weekend. I taught extra voice and piano lessons, and I taught extra VIP Kid. Now, I'm not saying this is a good work-life balance way of life, because it's definitely not. There were a lot of times I was dragging and just needed an extra coffee in the afternoon that I did make at home to continue saving money. But when you are determined to cash flow something, you will find the time, energy, and inspiration and motivation to get that done. That is one of the big things that caused me to not make as many YouTube videos earlier this year, because I was just so focused on 3 other things that I needed to do to save up a little more cash to put towards my cash flowing system and goals, honestly. It did indeed take 2 months and 1 week. So anyway, that is it. Step 1, create a rough budget outline. Step 2, figure out how much you need to save and how much time you have to save it. Designate a place to put those funds. Don't put them somewhere where you're gonna see a large sum of money and then get less motivated to use it on vacation and wanna go do other things with it. Put it someplace where it's out of sight, out of mind, and protected. And thirdly, get creative in ways you can save money. It is the day before I get on the airplane right now, and I still woke up at 5:30 and taught 7 lessons online. I already taught 1 voice lesson before I filmed this. I'm gonna go continue packing those bags and double, triple checking things, and then I teach 2 more lessons here in my home before I get up tomorrow and go to New York. The hustle is real, you guys, but all that being said, it sounds really stressful. The idea that I can get in my taxi tomorrow, go to the airport, and enjoy a 5-day vacation that is already paid for. That brings so much peace of mind, especially when I can look at my credit cards when I come home and my bank statements and my checking and savings account, and I don't see big drastic drops and charges because everything's already been paid for and paid off. Once again, let me know down below in the comments what you are saving for, any big milestones, vacations, whatever it is. Let me know down below in the comments. If you are not following me on Instagram, I will put the handle down below in the description box. You can see all the places in New York that I am seeing. If you like these kind of moneying and budgeting videos, let me know by giving this one a thumbs up. It lets me know what you guys want to see in the future. Have a great spring, you guys. I will see you in the next one when I am back. Bye.